It was a warm summer evening in June 2025. The Pacific breeze danced softly through the open windows of La Costa del Mar, a high-end Mediterranean restaurant known for its panoramic ocean views and absolute discretion. If you like the video, please subscribe and comment. Barış Arduç, in town for a private international film meeting, arrived alone for dinner just after 7:30 p.m. Casual, yet effortlessly stylish in a light blue shirt and linen trousers, he requested a quiet corner table. Unbeknownst to him, just moments earlier, Elçin Sangu had also arrived, fresh off a photo shoot in Beverly Hills. She too was looking for solitude, seeking a quiet dinner before flying to New York the next day. By a twist of fate, their tables were next to each other. Neither of them had expected to see a familiar face, let alone one that stirred so many memories. 2. A smile across the table. The first exchange was wordless. Barış, scanning the menu, caught a glimpse of Elçin's unmistakable red hair under the soft glow of the hanging Edison bulbs. Her back was turned at first, but when she reached for her wine glass and turned slightly, their eyes met. A subtle, surprised smile formed on both their faces. Elçin blinked in recognition. Barış raised an eyebrow, with curiosity. They hadn't spoken in over a year, not since their last joint appearance at a private award ceremony in Istanbul. "Elçin," Barış finally said, standing slightly to get her attention. She turned fully toward him, placing her napkin gently on her lap. "Barış, are you serious? What are the chances?" Both laughed. The waiter, noticing the shift in energy, approached politely. Within moments, their tables were pushed together. 3. Conversations, confessions, and California wine. For over 2 hours, they spoke. The restaurant, full of A-listers and influencers, faded into the background as the pair reconnected. They reminisced about their days on set during Karalik Ask, their first impressions of each other, and how life had changed since those golden years. Barış spoke of his recent travels, his time in Tokyo, an upcoming film in Berlin, and how solitude had become both a comfort and a burden. Elçin, more reserved at first, eventually opened up. She shared her love for California, her desire to do theater in New York, and how fame often made her feel like a passenger in her own life. Wine flowed. So did laughter. What began as a simple dinner between old friends quickly morphed into something deeper, an emotional rediscovery. 4. After dinner stroll by the Pacific, the night didn't end with dessert. Just before 10 p.m., the two stepped outside into the California night, choosing to walk down the path to a quiet beach nearby. Barış took off his shoes, playfully challenging Elçin to walk barefoot with him. "Come on, superstar," he teased. "You used to be more adventurous." With a grin, Elçin complied, and on the sands of Malibu, under a moonlit sky, they walked and talked like two people who had nothing and everything in common. With no cameras, no fans, and no pressure, they could just be themselves. At one point, silence settled between them. It wasn't uncomfortable. It was electric. Elçin finally broke it. "Did you ever wonder what if?" Barış looked out at the dark ocean. "Every day," he said quietly. 5. From crush to connection, over the next few days, something bloomed. They met again the following morning, breakfast at a discreet local cafe. Then a visit to the Getty Museum. Then a quiet dinner at Barış's rented villa overlooking the hills. Each moment added a new layer to their rediscovered connection. There was a maturity now, more listening, less ego, deeper eye contact. They had grown since their last time together, and somehow, this made everything feel even more real. Elçin was the first to admit it aloud. "I think I'm developing a serious crush on you," she laughed, sipping her espresso on the third day. Barış leaned forward. "Then I must be ahead of you," he replied, "because I haven't stopped thinking about you since that dinner." 6. Love in the shadows. For 2 weeks, they kept their meetings under wraps. No photos, no social media tags, no leaks to the press. Friends back in Istanbul had no clue what was unfolding across the Atlantic. They cooked meals together. They watched sunsets. Barış played the guitar one evening while Elçin softly hummed along. She read poetry. He listened with a patient heart. Even the simplest things, grocery shopping, folding laundry, debating over which movie to watch, felt romantic. They weren't just celebrities anymore. They were simply Barış and Elçin. 7. Making a pact. By the third week of their California getaway, it was clear that what they had was more than a summer fling. One evening, while lying beneath a blanket on the rooftop terrace, Elçin looked at Barış and said, "I'm scared this will disappear when we go back." Barış reached for her hand. "Then let's not go back to the way things were. Not this time." They made a pact, not to hide, not to rush, but to protect their bond. Fame had taken so much from them in the past. This time, they would do things differently. 8. Back to reality. Together, by the end of July, both had commitments back home. They flew separately to avoid attention, but those close to them noticed a change. Barış was more joyful, more focused. Elçin radiated calm confidence. Rumors began to swirl, especially when both were spotted wearing identical bracelets, thin bands with a small infinity symbol. Eagle-eyed fans speculated wildly online, but neither confirmed nor denied. Behind the scenes, however, they were slowly building a private love story. They traveled to Bodrum together, took a weekend trip to Cappadocia, shared playlists, books, and dreams. 9. Family and close friends find out. In early August, Elçin invited Barış to a small family dinner. It was intimate and informal. Her parents, always protective, instantly noticed how grounded he made her feel. A week later, Barış introduced Elçin to his closest circle. His brother later told the press, "I've never seen him this peaceful." Their families were happy. Their friends were supportive. For the first time in a long time, the couple felt surrounded by warmth, not pressure. 10. What comes next? Though they remain tight-lipped about the details, a source close to the couple told us they're taking things slow but are extremely serious about each other. Fans have noticed subtle signs, matching captions, shared travel dates, and one very intimate photo posted accidentally and deleted moments later. As of now, Barış and Elçin continue to nurture their relationship privately, with no official statement. But those who know them say this isn't just a reunion. It's the start of a forever story. Its conclusion, from a shared dinner in Malibu to stolen moments under Turkish skies, Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu's California meeting may have been accidental, but what grew from it was anything but. In a world that rarely allows love to unfold slowly and quietly, theirs is a story of rediscovery, timing, and the magic of simply sitting next to the right person at the right time. Stay tuned for more exclusive updates. Only here. 11. Whispered promises under sunset skies. August in Turkey is golden and warm. After weeks of quietly dating, Barış and Elçin took a brief getaway to the Turkish Riviera, choosing a secluded villa in Göcek. It wasn't just for rest. It was their first vacation together after returning from California. They kept a low profile, arriving separately and using a private boat to reach the remote house by the sea. No staff, no schedule, just them, the sea breeze, and the vast skies above. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the mountains, Barış stood on the balcony, watching Elçin sketch in her notebook. "You always draw when you're thinking deeply," he said softly. She looked up and smiled. "And I think deeply when I'm with you." There was no need for grand declarations. But in that silence, as he wrapped a shawl around her shoulders and kissed her forehead, it became clear. They were in love. 12. Keeping it quiet in a loud world, despite the rising emotions between them, both Barış and Elçin knew the media frenzy that would erupt if word got out. The Turkish entertainment press had followed their every step for years, always rooting for an off-screen romance. But this time, things felt different. They wanted to preserve what was real. So they devised a system. Code names for each other in text messages, private drivers, hidden rendezvous in coastal towns, and countryside inns. A close friend revealed, they were like teenagers, passing notes in class, except their class was the world stage. Even their teams didn't know everything. Only their most trusted stylists and assistants were in on the secret. Despite the pressure of keeping things quiet, there was excitement in their secret world. Every glance in public, every double tap on Instagram held deeper meaning for them. 13. The interview that almost revealed it all. In early September, Barış was invited for a live interview on a major Turkish network. During a relaxed Q&A session, the host jokingly asked, Still single? Or is there someone making you smile lately? Barış grinned and hesitated for a second longer than expected. There's always someone to smile about, he replied, adjusting his collar. The moment went viral. Fans dissected the clip. Commentators speculated. He's hiding something, they declared. Elçin, watching from her home, laughed quietly. She sent him a voice note. You looked like you were about to propose on live TV. Barış replied, I almost did. 14. A relationship in letters and lyrics. Both actors have artistic souls. While the world knew them as screen giants, their private romance was built on smaller things. Letters left on pillows, playlists created for each other, spontaneous poetry scribbled in napkins. One of Elçin's notes, later seen by a friend, read, I met you again in a place where no one knew our names. And somehow, I've never known myself more clearly than in your eyes. Barış, equally poetic, wrote her a song. It was never released. He recorded it on his phone, playing guitar at midnight. The lyrics spoke of two souls meeting again in a place far from home. She listens to it every night before bed. 15. A close call in Paris. In October, they decided to spend a weekend in Paris. They thought it would be safe. Europe, cold weather, layers of coats and scarves, but a fan spotted them on a bridge near the Seine, holding hands, laughing as Barış held a pastry in one hand and Elçin's glove in the other. The blurry photo spread quickly on fan accounts. Speculation exploded. While some believed it was them, others doubted, citing grainy resolution and winter clothes as disguises. Neither confirmed nor denied the rumors. But later, Elçin posted a photo of the Seine from her hotel window with the caption, where the heart meets the horizon. Barış liked it within seconds. 16. When hearts beat the loudest, by late autumn, their love was no longer something they could suppress. Barış started speaking more vaguely but emotionally in interviews. I think, sometimes, we meet the right person when the noise around us finally quiets down. Elçin, in a magazine shoot, said, There's peace in love that's not performative. Real love is about being seen when no one is looking. Friends close to the couple noticed the changes. They were glowing, said one stylist. Elçin became more playful, more alive. Barış, more grounded and warm. 17. First fight. First real test. Love isn't without its trials. In November, they had their first serious disagreement. It was over something small, a missed call, a delayed flight, mixed messages. But it unearthed something deeper, the fear of losing what they had just found. They didn't speak for 2 days. Both retreated into work, but on the third day, Barış flew across the country to surprise her at a private resort in Antalya. He brought with him a simple note. I'm not afraid of the storm if it's you waiting for me on the other side. She ran into his arms. And just like that, they healed. 18. Holidays in hiding. For the first time, they spent New Year's Eve together, just the two of them, in a cabin deep in the forests of Uludağ. Snow fell outside as they danced in thick socks and pajamas to old Turkish love songs. And oh, fireworks. No cameras, no social media. Just hands held across a candlelit table, laughter echoing off wooden walls, and the comfort of beginning the year with someone who felt like home. 19. A new chapter, public or private. As 2026 approached, pressure mounted. Fans begged for a reunion project. Producers sent scripts tailored for them. Brands offered joint deals. But the couple stayed firm. They would return to the screen only when the story was right. For now, their real-life romance was enough. Privately, they discussed what lay ahead, travel plans, a possible shared home, even the idea of adopting a dog. We don't need to announce anything, Elçin said one morning. Let's just live it. And they did. 20. Love in the everyday. Today, months after that fateful night in California, Barış and Elçin remain quietly in love. They still take separate cars to events. They still dodge paparazzi. But when the lights are off and the world is quiet, they meet in the kitchen, share late-night coffee, watch the stars from rooftops, and every now and then, they return to the restaurant in Malibu. The same table, the same wine, the same spark, because sometimes love doesn't need a script at IT, just needs a table for two. Thank you guys.